The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on Tom's Radio Toronto are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of Tom's Radio Toronto or its staff. These broadcasts are presented and made public as entertainment and general information only, in the hope that they will be entertaining and informative to listeners. They are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate in any way any disease or condition or to promote any specific lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice, nor is the information presented necessarily accurate or verifiable.
Alright, magandang hapon na naman po muli ngayong araw na ito ng Sabado at muli po tayong magtatalakay ng Taste of Manila Production and Toms. Nandito po tayo sa Toms Radio kung saan po nandito ang Tower 3 at sa mga nakikinig po, alam po natin na buong persa po kayong nakikinig sa araw na ito at sa oras na ito sa buong kapuluan ng mundo. At maraming pong salamat sa inyo at napakaganda po ng panahon ay binabati natin lahat kayo. Rhea.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're here again to give you some information that you might needed this, this season or this days. So please tune in, and we're about to start. Tito.
And then, thank you for your thank you to our viewers and listening right now because today, Saturday we have a very important guest.
Yes.
Today very good sun, no? Sunny.
It's sunny day.
Sunny day. The people are go around and buying something and
they went to the park.
Get
some air and sunny.
Yes. Right now, we start now our program, and then as we mentioned earlier that our guest for this afternoon is very important. We will introduce to you our guest, Mr. Gary Gladstone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, and one of the official candidate of Liberal Party. Is that right, Mr. Gary?
Yes, I'm the federal Liberal candidate for Thornhill in the upcoming election. But first and most importantly, Magadan Hapon Po sa Nyang Lahat Maja Kalibigan, and I hope I was pretty close.
Wow!
Good afternoon to all my friends. Many.
That's nice.
You're good, because you speak Filipino language, Tagalog. Magandang hapon and maraming salamat. And then, by the way, we also here right now in our studio, Tower 3, your secretary and
not my secretary, one of my prime movers on the campaign comes up.
Welcome to our show, and then
Welcome.
so thank you very much for your having us to our guest this afternoon of Tinig ng Bayan of our radio Tom's Radio this afternoon. All right, the microphone is in yours, and then you can give your messages to all over our community.
All right, well, thank you very much. But first of all, most importantly, tomorrow is 123rd Philippine Independence Day.
Yes.
Happy Independence Day. And we're celebrating now, of course, and you've had celebrations going on all month for the Filipino Heritage Month, which came into being under the Liberal government of 2018 with Prime Minister Trudeau. And my hope is to continue the emphasis that has been placed on the Filipino community because they are an important and vibrant part of, particularly the city, the province, and of course the country. And also you're celebrating the quincentennial commemoration of the Philippines, which again, 500 years of history is absolutely wonderful.
Yes, happy independence, everyone.
Yes, the Independence Day of all over the world is celebrating the 123rd Independence Day.
Yeah.
And every town or every province or country is celebrating 123rd of Independence Day. All right. So, like what our guest this afternoon is Mr. Gary. Actually, Mr. Gary Gladstone is very familiar to us. of the Filipino community, especially during the
He's
time
been
that-
there. He's been there since
Yeah. Because
first day.
every
For
every time that he visit us, like not long time, or about 5 years, 3 years, 1 year ago, is almost every Gary is almost meet with coffee or juice. And sometimes here during the Taste of Manila was also some advise us to how can we
So
Yeah.
for the people who doesn't know Mr. Gary, I want you to introduce yourself and tell us what you doing this.
Oh, absolutely. So I was born in Montreal. My dad's from Winnipeg, my mom's from Calgary. They met in Vancouver. We moved to Montreal. And then in about, I guess, 72, we moved to Toronto, where we settled. And now my wife and I married just over 30 years, and our two kids. We've lived in Thornhill for over 25 years, raised the family here, an absolutely wonderful community. And of course, the Filipino community is what makes one of the main reasons why Thornhill is such a special community. There's no question.
As you know, I live in Thornhill.
I know very
Yeah.
well. We,
Yes.
the of Filipino Canadian Association of On now having their offices at Patricia Kemp, which is absolutely wonderful. I've been there many times, and I've helped them out with some fundraising stuff as well. When I used to be on the Ontario Trillium Foundation grant review team for the York Simcoe area for about 12 years, it was my pleasure to see some incredible applications coming in, not only from FCAV, but also from PHB, Philippine Heritage Band. I've had the opportunity to march with them and be with them at the city as well.
Wow.
Some absolutely exceptional work that's being done. So professionally now, I am a fundraiser for charities and nonprofits and helping out with some government relations work. In particular, I'm in charge of stakeholder relations for RENA, helping those with developmental disabilities, and I'm sure you're familiar with RENA and the incredible work that they're doing, and had a lot to do when the National Housing Strategy came out with the federal government to make sure that there was special room for those with developmental disabilities and other vulnerable communities to make sure that all communities are well looked after. And I've also started doing a fair bit of work for the First Nations communities up in Kenora with the Kenora Chiefs Advisory. And we've been able to raise about $1 million in the past year, which was wonderful. And then, as Raleigh mentioned, the Taste of Manila, I've attended many meetings with him to try and look for what funding avenues there would be. And I'm very, very pleased that I was able to write a grant for the Philippine Center of Toronto, where Marianne San Juan and Efron Davila got $100,000 to the Enabling Accessibility Fund for their new premises out in Scarborough.
Wow.
Yes, wow, very, Gary Gladstone just tell us that the very specific what the project is going, and then also what is vision and mission about how he run the, in
It's
politics.
very busy man.
Busy man, member of Parliament, MP of Thornhill, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We have a little way to go, but with your help, Ria, with your vote, we'll get there. No problem.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, what in regards of member of parliament, there's a lots of before when MP Leavitt was and very updated of his York Center in here. It's very lots of project that.
So you're
Leavitt's
not
done.
just focused in Thornhill area.
Yeah.
You can go everywhere, or
Yes.
people can come to you
Oh,
and ask for.
people can come to me. That's what I do best, is
Yes.
help people with any problems or issues that they may have. But the important thing to note is that with your help, I'll be the MP for Thornhill. But of course, able
Of
to
course,
help
yeah.
wherever and however I can. And you mentioned the former MP Michael Levitt's been a very good friend of mine for years and years. And the work that he was able to do, and now Minister Mendocino, both as minister and as the MP for Eglinton Lawrence, is just fantastic. And the Liberal government has been there with the recent budget passed with lots of new things with immigration coming forward, which is, of course, very important. Very pleased to see one of the big changes coming is that for the temporary foreign workers, it will now be occupation specific instead of employer specific. And I know that's something that the community has wanted for a very long time, to make sure that you're not being tied down, and lots of other great stuff coming.
And let's say some other ones to, how could they involve in your group? Like someone have to help, especially when you mentioned that in Thornhill area, I can, sell.
Oh, no. So the important thing is to get involved and get engaged, and thank you. So we make phone calls to the community right now because we're not going door knocking, but soon we will be going door knocking and canvassing, and anyone wanting to join me, we would love that. Lots of stuff to do in around the office when we open the office, but lots of background work that needs to be done. And the support of the Filipino community, thank God, has always been there.
Yes.
And would be great if more and more came out. Check on my website, votegary.ca, and there's a place to sign up if those want to volunteer. The other big thing to note is we give high school volunteer hours if anyone's trying to complete the hours. And everything is very COVID safe, particularly these times health and safety are paramount. But again, I don't have to tell you because, thank God things are starting to recede COVID-wise, both in the Philippines and here. And just read the paper this morning. Canada is now number one of all the countries over 1 million in first shots of the COVID vaccines.
That's good to know, eh? That's a good news, yes.
Yeah, and there are millions and millions. Minister Anand just announced 7 million Moderna coming in this month, over 2 million Pfizer. So the vaccines are coming in by the truckload, and now everyone's getting their second vaccines. And it's just so important to get the vaccines, but again, as you're very well aware.
Yeah, it's good to hear you about some, very specific of our government and some our community that you are you're very official, to handle and responsibility of our community as well as you are a member of federal, right?
Yeah.
And how you right now the situation of our many people are in crisis of about COVID-19, and when the election is what date that the election will be?
Your guess is probably better than mine. It will be sometime between now and October of 2023. There are many rumors about that it will come this year in the fall, but really, I have no idea because right now, as you know, we're in a minority government. And as such, the opposition parties, if they decide it's time to go to the polls, will defeat the government and will go to the polls, and I'll be ready. The Prime Minister will be ready, as will the rest of the Liberal team. We're not looking for the election now, but should it come, we're ready. And we'll have to see what happens.
You have to wait for that, when it's going to be open.
So anyway, very special, our special guest today, Gary Gladstone was here, and then talking about live in our community and all over the country. Is we will continue after our our viewers. We will continue our sponsors after this.
Thank you.
Are you an international student who has recently graduated from a Canadian post-secondary school? If you have graduated from a designated learning institution, you could be eligible to apply for permanent residency under the new pathway set out by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. Contact Genesis Immigration Consulting.
Alright, sa pagbabalik po ng Tinig ng Bayan at nandito pa rin po tayo sa Toms Radio at nandito po ang ating mga nakikinig at nandito po at binabati natin si Tita Cecil Aranita, the President and CEO.
Welcome back, Tita.
Tita Cecil and Mondo Tol, nandito rin po
Yes.
siya sa toll order niya at nakikinig po. At lalo po nagpapasalamat tayo at naging kapanayan po natin sa mga Pilipino na nagpapasalamat po tayo at naging kapanayan po natin ang isa sa kangay veterano bilang sa politiko ng Canada. But sa pakikinig po ninyo, kayo na po ang maghinay-hinay, maghahanay-hanay ng kanyang mga programa tungkol po sa ating community. I will speak with the Tagalog because ang ating po mga kababayan ay mga nakikinig, buong persa po ang ating mga nakikinig at may mga nagpapadala po sa ating mensahe by Tagalog version. At maya-maya po sa pagbabalik natin, makikita naman po natin ang pangalawang kanyang sasabihin para sa ikabubuti ng ating bansang Canada. At lalo tigit sa ating lahat ng community, one of the Gary is one of part of our community also. By like member of provincial member of federal candidates, ay maasahan po natin siya sa kanyang mga binitiwang salita. Alright, continue. We will continue our program with Tom's Tinig ng Bayan, Rhea.
When you say it's like community, I just want to ask to Mr. Gary about how about the the Filipino communities in your like activities.
Well, the work that the Philippine Canadian Association of the FCAV does out of the Patricia Kemp Center, and also that the Philippine Heritage Band does, is unbelievable. They now have the new Friendship Parquet that Jackie's been working on tirelessly, that is building up beautifully. The building up relations with others in the area. Like myself, I'm Jewish, and the relations between the Filipino and Jewish community are always fantastic. And I have to tell you, and I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart, President Quezon back in the 30s, just before
they
the
always
war.
mention that.
Yeah, well, no, it's absolutely fantastic because there were many countries that were not going out of their way to help, and even when there was possibilities, they weren't there. But the Philippines, in particular, this one instance with the president saving 1,200 at least, and it was going to be more, but let's just say the American government couldn't keep pace with the Philippine government, and there was just a wonderful movie, which I'm sure you're well aware of, highlighting the president. Thank you. And the relations, that there's so much more. So in Thornhill, it's very often that the Filipino caregivers are working with and for Jewish families and other families in the riding. But there's so much more, and I'm glad to see that with the employee training, with new jobs available, a lot of this funded through federal government programs, that more and more people are realizing how strong and incredibly wonderful your whole community is.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes when it comes to the nanny between the employer, and especially the Jewish people are very nice to their helper.
Yeah.
So I'm one of that, because I've been like a nanny for almost 10 years. And I just got I got study and everything. So they're the one who helping me. It's very nice. It's very nice.
And of course, you were an incredible award-winning performer back in the Philippines.
Yeah.
like recently, the 3 weeks or 3 weeks when we opened the Tom Radio, is our guest is MP, the Citizenship Immigration Marco, and then he explained what the especially the backlog of overseas worker, and we discussed about with Mondatol, we discussed the pathway, the new program of the overseas workers, especially all over in Canada.
Yeah.
But like right now, you are upcoming, if you are become, and then we hope that you will be one of our, helping us.
I've been with the community for forever.
That's
Believe
what he
me, I'm not
said,
leaving
yeah.
anybody so quickly.
Once you promise,
Yeah.
once you promise everything and anything to every one of us, is you have to, your responsibility and authority to, to help the the what you are going to promise to us.
Well, no. So it's very important that the community has a strong voice in government and in Ottawa, and that's what I'll be able to provide. Just look now the recent funding of the Yonge Street Subway North Extension, north of Finch, all the way up to Richmond Hill, with a $2.6 billion fund from the government is absolutely wonderful, and it's that type of project that we have to make sure gets through, that working with the municipalities closely with the appropriate infrastructure money, that we can build and build and build as appropriate,
Yes.
make sure
That's a
that the
nice
infrastructure is in
project.
place.
Yeah, there are lots of federal doing, like Canada Emergency Response Benefit, right? CERB, Canada Emergency Student Benefit, that is including of your
Yeah.
right, and mortgage referral and tax deferral, Ontario Emergency assistance, like Canada wage. Yeah, lots of responsible.
Yeah. Well, when COVID hit, the Prime Minister Trudeau and the Liberal Party made a very wonderful decision to say, people need help. We have to make sure that the help gets out there quickly, efficiently, and properly, and to make sure that no one's on the streets as a result of COVID. And of course, as you say, Raleigh, a number of people have been able to make tremendous use of the CERB program, the CEWS program. Now that the province is opening up again, gorgeous weather, hello afterwards. You'll tell me where I'm going. And,
It's hot.
Yeah, it's
We need
hot.
hello.
Yeah. But now things are coming up as more and more people are getting their doses. We hope that the Delta variant is laid to rest. And again, through the guidance of Eileen DeVille, the medical officer of health here down in Toronto, and Mr. Kurji Dr. Kurji up in York Region have been phenomenal, and have really been helping to keep it down.
It's very nice because it's how many months the election is coming, or whatever the situation or this decision of our federal government is very close to. Mr. Gary will be our MP of Thornhill. How many population of in your riding?
Just over 100,000. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
I think that Filipinos also is growing in Thornhill,
Of
right?
course, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful community and brings tremendous, well, of course, food. I mean, let's face it, the Jewish community and the Filipino community have a lot in common, right? Food, family, and fun. What can go wrong? So the food, as more and more
It's the main
Filipinos
source.
are opening up, it's absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
Ayun, sa mga kapilipinuhan po at nakikinig po ngayong araw na ito, ay napakinggan po ninyo kung ano ang kanyang mga programa as today bilang kandidato po or candidate for member of parliament sa Thornhill po. Sa ating mga nakikinig sa mga Pilipino or sa Thornhill, ay kayo na po yung pag magdesisyon sa maganda niyang mga sinabi sa pangako niya na dapat gagawin niya kung siya po ay magiging member of parliament dyan sa Thornhill, di ba?
Yes.
Yan po yung mga, let's say,
Absolutely,
yeah, so, yun po, at kayo na po ang let us support, ano?
Yes,
Kung maganda
yes.
po ang layunin ng ating
I will support.
yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
See?
Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Send people to votegary.ca. They can sign up to volunteer.
Yeah.
Your listeners may be interested. The Honorable Chrystia Freeland is coming to do a virtual fundraiser on June 24th. There's
June
information-
24.
Yeah, and there's information on the website that, again, votegary.ca. People can sign up to attend with pleasure. But really, some volunteers would be great. Opportunity to mentor in a wonderful campaign, because we got to get more Filipinos and Filipinas running,
I see.
and the more active and engaged you are in politics, the better off we'll all be.
So to get involved with that volunteers, just to sign in a website or
Yeah,
There's some-
just sign in there, and then a member of my team, the volunteer coordinator, will be in touch with you. We'll find out what your interests are and how much time you have and where I can plug you in. But like I said, a lot of phone calls, door knocking as soon as it's safe.
Yep.
We're planning a number of events that we'll need help with, and to know more, get involved, let your friends know that I'm running. And of course, there's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
one way to get in. And Ria, thank you for your support. I'm,
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm one step closer, as
Yes.
they say.
You know, Rhea is one of big family in your area, no?
Yeah,
But
in my area.
Yeah.
for me is I have a lots of friends also in during my work in the Philippine consulate for 18 years
Oh, for
because
sure.
I'm a consular assistant and for doing a passport and some document of Filipino here in Canada. Like in Winnipeg, Saskatoon, we doing the consulate is doing a outreach program in Manitoba, in Saskatoon, and Regina. That is our jurisdiction, and from Kingston to Windsor, that is our jurisdiction. But
Yeah.
the Philippine Embassy's jurisdiction from Kingston province to going Ottawa and Prince Edward. But the consulate, when I was work there, I just go around to Filipino documents or what, or passport and that. That's why I'm very familiar of also here.
Yeah, and this radio program also will help other Filipino community to know who is going to vote and who's not.
Yes.
Especially now that they know you or you speak what you guys doing, so probably they will vote.
That's wonderful because
yeah.
voting is the most important thing. It's
Yes.
important to make sure that you send your representative to the community. And Ria, as I said before, I'm hoping to be yours and the community's representative in
Of
Ottawa
course, yeah.
with a very strong voice. Very important.
Yes.
So what is
yes.
status to be vote? Like is only
You're
citizen? Citizen?
Yes, you have to
First,
be
you have to be
a citizen. Yeah.
Only citizen.
Yeah, and
Canadian
18
citizen.
years of old. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
18.
Yeah. 18 over Canadian citizen.
But the OFW cannot vote, right?
If they don't have any like a proper paper to vote.
Permanent
No.
residence?
No, permanent residents can't vote, but they can certainly support and volunteer and help in many different ways.
Yeah.
And when particularly in 2019, when I was door knocking, I was meeting many permanent residents who saying, I want to help you, I want to help you. Unfortunately, I'm not citizen yet, I can't vote, but let me come volunteer, let me help you, and let me get involved. And very important.
Alright. So, yun po. At nakikinig po ang ating mga kababayan na pinaliwanag po niya na you can vote on a citizen in Canada. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a citizen.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
And very interesting now, I'm not sure if the law has passed, but it will be passing, that Canadian citizens living outside of Canada will be able to vote as well.
Oh, that's a good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even my mom can go home and I will ask her to vote.
Well, thank you very
Yeah.
much. There you go.
So,
Yes.
Rhea can volunteer, can
Yeah.
volunteer if you're...
Okay, so now I can tell my campaign manager I got 2 votes.
Sure. More than that.
Who knows that Gary will, the victory is always, predict, But
Yeah.
if Gary will, one of, member of parliament will, well, lucky,
Yes,
I think
that's true.
you can also, Gary will support us and also we will.
I will tell to my friends.
Thank you, thank you.
So ngayon po sa pagbabalik at meron pa po tayong 15 minuto na natitira, 15 minutes to go, and then sa isa na naman po nating uling sponsor, commercial.
Are you an international student who has recently graduated from a Canadian post-secondary school? If you have graduated from a designated learning institution, you could be eligible to apply for permanent residency under the new pathway set out by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. Contact Genesis Immigration Consulting.
Alright, 15 minutes to go. Alright,
Yep.
ang Tinig ng Bayan po dito po rin sa Tongs Radio at we will continuing our our guests to some question about how the member of parliament officially candidate of Mr. Gary
Yeah.
Gladstone. What is?
Okay, Mr. Gary, I read some of your biography, and it said there that you're helping other people when it comes to a disability program, like
Oh yeah,
the
very
RENA?
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I work with RENA for those with varying abilities, some with developmental disabilities, mental health challenges, etc., and very active, particularly in housing. And there's a tremendous need for housing with supports for those with developmental disabilities, as I'm sure a number of your listeners are well aware. And we've been advocating with a number of other organizations across the province and across the country to really see that that gets on the provincial and national radar. And I was very pleased when the Liberal government came out with the National Housing Strategy in 2017, that the recommendations that we had made in terms of housing for those with developmental disabilities were taken into account. And there was a special section in there where at least 2,400 units for those with developmental disabilities were under the National Housing Strategy, a place to call home, which is wonderful. And as a result of that, next month, the new Lou Fruitman RENA residence, which is an apartment-style residence on Clark Avenue, right across from the promenade, will be opening up as an apartment building with incredible supports. I was just in on the tours. We're about to get the keys from construction. And it's an absolutely gorgeous building that anyone would be honored to be able to live in, and with appropriate supports to make sure that the individuals that we support can live a full life in community.
I see.
And my whole life really has been working with the charities and nonprofits, from board member to staff member. And do I see out of the corner of my eye Agnes is there? No, I thought I saw Agnes coming. I think Agnes, but no.
Agnes
yeah.
Miranda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been involved with charities and nonprofits, helping to grow communities, to have communities working closer together and needy, and it's been fantastic. And thank God I've been able to make a significant difference in
Wow,
many
that's
people's
really
lives.
help other
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
they have. So they need to apply this in your website, or they have to contact your.
Oh no! So for that, they would need to contact RENA directly, and RENA's website is rena.org. And then recently, I've done a considerable amount of work with the Kenora Chiefs Advisory First Nations community up in Kenora, and supporting 9 First Nations up there. And again, significant impact, particularly with COVID, with the shutdowns, the lockdowns of the First Nations communities. Been able to deliver tremendous First Nations mental health supports.
Yes, yes.
that's
If you want, if you have some question and concern about in regards of Gary Gladstone, you can what is this? Both Gladstone. www.bothgary.ca. Is that right?
That's right. That's my website.
Website.
Absolutely.
And then if you have some concern about, just call Tom's Radio, Skype, and Facebook, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rhea.
And Mr. Gary, about that, the one that you mentioned, that disability. Let's say one family have autism kids. Are they able to get it, that house that you're saying, or?
Well, there's room for them, but again, I do the government relations for that. I'm not
just
frontline
the-
support,
okay.
so they would need to call RENA directly. But as you mentioned, autism, I've done a fair bit of work with Autism Ontario, with the South Asian Autism Association, with a number of other autism-related organizations, and really doing some incredible work in the province to assist those. And the Liberal Party, with the National Autism Strategy, has made a huge difference, and we're starting to work on that now as well, and some other organizations that we're involved with, because it's important that those that need our assistance aren't left behind, and that they're given a hand up instead of just the handout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
but I'm just only acknowledge. I think member of parliament also Salma is watching us, and actually I'm a member of Scarborough Federal of Liberal Party.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, yes, I'm.
Yeah,
Because-
they're very lucky to have you, Raleigh.
yeah,
No
yeah,
question.
because every time that we have a meeting, I am the member of director at large and Liberal Party. That's why we are continuing the executive meeting in Scarborough, because I'm living in Scarborough, but I'm a member of Federal Liberal Party, for continuing up also the community.
So
acknowledge
you've
of the
been
community.
supportive.
Yeah, because
Supporters.
yes,
Yeah.
we have also agenda of chair report, financial report policy, and organization charge of our organization in Scarborough. So you're welcome. So you're very welcome to us in our program.
I've been a member of the Thornhill Association, similar
Yeah.
to that, for the past 20 years. A number of years I was blessed to serve as president, and I've probably held most executive positions.
Good
But,
to know.
but it's not the positions that are so important as how you can help and what you can do. And now with your help, I'll be able to help more and do more.
Yeah, like I mentioned to earlier, because I also nomination, supposed to run by provincial, member of provincial parliament, because I receive what encouraged me to provincial run also of
Are you going to, Tito? That's the question.
That's the big question, because I have so many agenda, like
know.
the Taste of Manila as well, because who knows that the COVID was gone, or the people are the government is accept the event. So hopefully, but until now the city was not approved or cancelled or the event. Hopefully that maybe next year.
Yeah. Well, for sure. I've been between the Taste of Manila here, Fiesta Extravaganza up in
PIDZ
Thornhill.
or
And incredible
Lots.
events put on by great organizers, and the community. I mean, myself especially, love them to bits. And as you said, I've been to the last number of a Taste of Manilas, and the way it's grown so large and so quickly is a real testament to the work and the work ethic of you and your whole committee. It's just unbelievable.
So hopefully. So the COVID is still, but the how many percent, Gary? If you know how many percent the people or
Get the vaccine.
they get the vaccine? How many percentage?
Well,
now?
in Canada, we're well over 30 million vaccines have been coming. I think now we're in the 70%, well over 70% in terms of the first shot, and about 12% fully vaccinated. And the fully vaccinated number is jumping like crazy. And as I indicated, thanks to Minister Anand, a federal procurement minister under Prime Minister Trudeau, the doses are now coming in like huge numbers. Pfizer about just shy of 2.5 million a week. There's 7 million Moderna coming in, and the provinces are getting them in arms as quickly as they're coming in now.
Yes. So that is the very important information about our situation and COVID, right? So Mr. Gary mentioned about the percentage, and our viewers know already what is the situation and the percentage of the especially how many percent that the vaccination is our businesses is totally open. How many percent that we targeted?
I think it's got to be about 25 to 30% according to the premier. I'm not 100% sure, but I just want to make sure that all of your viewers know, particularly those in Thornhill and York Region, that as of Monday morning, they can go on the York Region website, york.ca/COVID-19 vaccine, and anyone who got their first shot May 9th or earlier is now eligible to get their second shot.
So it's open now for
Well,
seconds.
it's open Monday morning at 8 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
For the
That's
for,
good
for
to
the
know,
second
yeah.
shot for whoever got their first shot before May the 9th. So I know my kids are very excited because now they can get their second shot. So
Oh, I see.
we'll be booking for
What
them
about
on
for
Monday.
those kids, like the baby or like 3 years old? Are they open now or not?
No,
yet?
so at this point, the Pfizer shots are for youth from 12 to 19, but there's nothing for under 12 at this point in time, but they're working on it and it'll be coming.
Yeah, I hope it
Yeah.
will soon because they're going to school in,
Yes,
like
yeah,
4
in
years old.
September. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, sa mga nakikinig po natin at yun po at naipaliwanag nga ni Mr. Gary Gladson regarding the latest of the vaccine of percentage to open our businesses like here in Toronto or not all over. So I know that the situation of COVID-19 has been difficult for our family, and sinabi na po niya na they can help as long na hindi pa rin po siya talagang MP, tumutulong na siya sa ating mga kababayan,
Yeah.
right?
He's been helping
he
since
has
the
been
first
helping,
day, yeah.
not only that he is a member of provincial candidate, but in privatized doing, Mr. Gali was helping for sometimes, yan po ang maganda. At the government also, the level of the government taking measure to help through his, our all community, right?
Yeah, no, very important. And please, everybody, seek the proper medical help and advice, of course, and get the shot as soon as you're able, because that's what's going to allow us to reopen, which the businesses need so badly.
Yes.
And we just need to make sure that everyone gets their shot.
So, Mr. Gary, and also we would like to, appreciate and also acknowledge what to our to visit our Tom's Radio right now, and we heard about your very specific to our community in terms of you run a member of parliament candidate of Liberal, but right now you can how you right now how you can message to our community of viewers and listener to messages to during this COVID time.
Well, the important time is health safety precautions at all times. I'm, of course, not a medical doctor, but you have to listen. So the hand sanitizing on a regular basis, of course, wearing a mask and staying 6 feet distant. As more and more people are getting vaccinated, then, you can have more people inside and outside, but follow the guidelines that the province puts out and York Region Public Health and Toronto Public Health and the others, because really that's how we're going to get to the other end, and that's how we're going to be able to be out there with everybody. But most important to stay safe. I know many, many people who have come down with COVID, as I'm sure is the same with you, both home and elsewhere. And now it looks like the numbers are now still very low, and we hope they're going to stay that way as we start to reopen.
Yes.
But everybody still has to be safe and still has to take proper precautions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gary. It's our honor to you are a special guest to our Tom Radio Tinig ng Bayan. And Rhea, we have only 3 minutes to go, and then you can have a message to our listener and viewers.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gary, for visiting us and to tell us all your activities. And for sure, all the Filipino will know what you're doing and will gonna vote you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Marming salamat po. It's been an absolute pleasure to reconnect with the Philippine community once again. And thank you very much for having me. And as Raleigh said, no stranger, don't intend to be any time. And thank you very much for hosting. Thank you.
thank
A
you.
Rhea,
pleasure.
may mga
Thank you.
babatiin ka pa, may natitira
I
ba
would
tayo?
like to say hi to all my family, my siblings, my daughter, my son. How are you guys? I love you, and my relatives in Pulilan. They want to say
okay.
hi.
At yan po.
And they're watching every
they're
year,
watching,
every-
no?
yeah, every
At
Saturday.
ito naman, at today it's very sunny, no? The people are, it's enjoy to eat barbecue in our restaurant, Republic. They have a music there, and also jalotaps.
I was just there a few minutes ago.
You can get a barbecue. It's so nice.
Alright, kami naman po ay Tito Rolly ay nagpapasalamat po at naging kapanayam natin ang isang special guest natin na maaring pinapangako po makakatulong sa ating mga kababayan ngayong araw na ito, at naging panauhin po natin at marami po nating tinalakay in regards of ating isa dito sa Canada, at bumabati po sa aking pamilya at nakikinig po sila, Sister Nieves, Sister Yoyo, Sister Jacqueline and Brother Raymond. At sa mga kaibigan po natin na hindi na po natin, maraming pong salamat, magandang hapon. At sa ngalan po ng Tinig ng Bayan Radio, Toms, nagpapasalamat po tayo unang-una po at nagpapasalamat po tayo kay Tito Ricky, one of our
Thank you.
specialist monitoring of our Toms Radio. Maraming pong salamat.
Are you an international student who has recently graduated from a Canadian post-secondary school? If you have graduated from a designated learning institution, you could be eligible to apply for permanent residency under the new pathway set out by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. Contact Genesis Immigration Consulting